All right, so we're going to add up the first 10 terms of the sequence, and there's two different equations to do this with, and it's always unclear which is the better of the two. So the first thing I want to make clear is you're not adding up all of the terms, you're only adding up 10 terms. The first, second, third, fourth. Don't do it by hand because this quickly gets into decimals that we'll lose track of and get a rounded answer. And because it's only 10 and not all of them, we call that a partial sum. And there's two equations for this partial sum. They both start the same way. And one of them looks like this. And the other is the exact same but reversed. And I tend to use the one that avoids the most negative signs. And in this case here, if we put in, first off, the ratio between these two numbers is 0.5. This is a multiplying pattern of 0.5. And if we use the first one, we will get a negative in the denominator. Generally speaking, I just try to avoid that. And so I'm going to instead use this version of the sum equation. So we're summing 10 numbers. And let's go ahead and write it. The sum of the first 10 numbers is the first number, 12, and 1 minus the ratio, and that ratio to the n is 10, 1 minus 0.5. Okay, now we could have used the first one. It really won't make a difference. If everything is a number, there's no fancy solving for this. We're just going to calculate this. So that's the second part that is always kind of confusing, is if you're doing this by hand, or at least part of it by hand, that's possible. You can just go ahead and put the entire thing in the calculator. 1 minus 0.05 to the 10th. And we're going to put the whole denominator. You can either write that out or you can just put 0.5. If you write it all out, you do have to put a parenthesis around it. And then you get something that just under 24, 23,977, if you round 3 decimals. So the sum of the first 10 terms, 23.977. Looks like it's heading towards 24 if we were to continue adding, but just shy of 24.